I'm Jayme and welcome to Deadbeat Studios. Today we're going to check out the Scylla compressor pedal from Joyo. I did a live stream recently exploring this pedal and just checking it out in real time. That's the sound I'm looking for. In this video, we're going to have a listen to this pedal in a variety of different styles, from slap to funk and everything in between. You can just check out the chapters in the description if you want to jump around. But first, we'll start with some highlights from the live stream. At the moment, I can't figure out how to open it. It's one of those packages. One of these ones. You got to flip it up like that. Okay, so we got a manual. Not going to read any of that yet. Okay, this is interesting. You don't normally see the stomp on the corner like that. Usually they put it in the center. I don't think I've seen that before. We got input and output, ratio, attack, release, and tone. Tone normally isn't a knob that you would see on a compressor, so I'm going to be interested to check this out. We'll just kind of see what we can do with this. We'll start with slap. If you're going to use a compressor at all, it's probably to get that really sucky, smacky slap tone. Let's just start with the low ratio. We'll drive the input gain. The attack, I'm going to set somewhere in the middle. Let's turn up the ratio and drive the threshold or the input a little harder. That's the sound I'm looking for. Now I'm going to back it off a little bit. Turn up the volume. Here, I'm going to turn off my mic. I'm going to turn off the compressor now. Okay, so check this out. Compressor off. I'll do that again with the compressor on. I'm going to turn off my mic so you can hear what's happening. Sick! I could probably get away with dialing it back a little bit to get less of that sound, but it only helps you out, especially when you're doing all the ghosted stuff. All of those little, they all start to pop out once you throw on the compressor. So as a slap compressor, I dig it. Let's go with something old school. So one thing I use compression for, finger funk. That's another place where, sort of like slap bass, you get the benefit from all those ghosted notes and all the things that you're doing. So bass is off right now. I'm sorry, compressor is off right now. And let's go with the neck pickup, bridge pickup. It's been a long day, y'all. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Let's see what it sounds like on some finger funk. We'll do the tone knob in the opposite direction. Notice it's mellowing out the buzzing from that 60 cycle hum of the single coil pickup. So backing off the tone knob will darken the sound of the bass, but also get rid of some of that buzzing. Fast release, you're pretty much never going to touch this. The ratio, I'm going to go a little bit harder. Let's really dive in with the input gain. And the attack, I'm going to leave it almost in the same places with the slap bass. I love it. You guys probably can't tell the difference. Watch what happens when I turn it off. Turn it back on. Between those two examples, I felt like the second time when I kicked the compressor on, my right hand didn't have to play as fast. Or sorry, didn't have to dig in as hard. That sounds to me, if I close my eyes, I'm like, bam, 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 bam. I'm like smacking the shit out of those strings. But if you listen, I'm actually barely touching them. Especially when you do those. Turn off the compressor. You can see when I'm playing fast, now my right hand has to dig in harder, and now I'm chopping over notes, and also I'm digging in harder. My bass is going to go out of tune. Kick on the compressor, and I've kind of got that in-your-face smacky, bop, 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 lots of punch, but I'm whispering on the instrument. There's a link in the description. You can go check out the entire live stream. It's pretty in-depth, and again, you get to see my initial reactions and watch me explore the pedal in real time. So go check that out if you want. Anyways, after the stream, I ran this pedal through a few more songs with backing tracks. That way I could hear what it sounds like in like a real world scenario. Here's what the pedal sounds like coming out of a mic'd up bass amp. Here's a track that leans on the Scylla pretty heavily for sustain and fatness when you're playing long notes. All right, so here's my takeaways on the Joyo Scylla. It's very versatile, very affordable, and I definitely think it shined the most when I was playing slap bass. So for this price point, yeah, I could totally see myself throwing one on the pedal board for any one of those scenarios. I also really like the tone knob feature. That's not a common one for compressor pedals, and it was really nice to be able to brighten up or darken the tone without having to reach for an EQ. So that's it for today. Thank you so very much for watching. Remember, you can check out any of the gear that we use today by clicking on those links in the description, and make sure you check out the Skeleton Crew. We've got tons of awesome perks, which, by the way, I do a live stream every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific. I'd love to see you there. Come hang out, come say hi. And speaking of the Skeleton Crew, thank you to these wonderful names right over here. Y'all are the best. These are the MVPs keeping the lights on around here. Thank you. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my cold, dead heart. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.